Hey guys, enter the stars. And I was a bit hesitant to do this video because much of what I'm about to share with you today are personal thoughts, and we can't exactly pinpoint these things, but we can kind of start to pull back the veil and reveal truth. Now again, these are not judgments on people, okay? I myself had a life full of sin and a life full of things that I'm not proud of, and had to seek and find the truth and find what it is and how it is God wants us to live our life. This is not a judgment. But on this journey for Cain and Abel that we've all been on together for the last week, I've found some startling new revelations, and I've had to take a closer look at Cain and Abel. Now, we've determined, or we've determined, that Cain, in fact, through a process called superfecundation, may have been the serpent seed in the womb of Eve. Now, here, God asks Cain, what happened to Abel? And Cain says, am I not my brother's keeper? As a question. Now, we've read this a million times in church, but the fact remains that he is talking about his brother, and he is asking a question, almost as if he's mocking God or asking God, is he really my brother? Is he my blood brother? Then God goes on to curse the ground that the blood spilled on, and curse the dust of the ground. Now, you guys, we have to use our critical thinking. In the Passover, Jesus breaks the bread and drinks the wine, which signifies the blood. Two elements of the original murder and mixing of seed that Jesus came to break. And it wasn't until I thought about those two elements that I made the connection, okay, that he broke the bread first, breaking the curse of the dust of the earth, okay, because it says here in Genesis that Eve and the serpent will be cursed to eat the dust of the ground. It would become our food, which is where we grow food out of. Now, the fallen angels taught man the plants, cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. Now, this is from the book of Enoch. Okay? Now, up until this time, God had already established a use for plants. He told them that they would eat plants from this point in Genesis, obviously, because the angels, the fallen angels, did not come until the generation of Jared, which it says here in the book of Enoch, which was several generations after Cain and Abel. So man would have already been eating plants. So what was it that they acquainted man with plants, the fallen angels? What was it? It couldn't have been for eating. Okay? Cutting of roots. Ayahuasca is a root. When you cut it, you get enchanted, an enchantment. And when you smoke certain plants, you become enchanted. Okay? And all psychedelic drugs are derived from plants. As a pharmaceutical rep, I used to sell morphine. Morphine is derived from the poppy seed. Okay? So who taught man how to do this? Cann-abis. Are you feeling like Abel? Are you feeling closer to God? Are you feeling like you love everybody? Or when you're not smoking it, are you feeling more like Cain? Are you feeling like you want to kill somebody? Feeling anxiety, depression? Are you lashing out at people? Do you get migraine headaches? Do you feel fatigued? There is a reason why Linnaeus, who named the pot plant did what he did. And Carlos Linnaeus was born a Gemini on May 23rd, the same as the Gemini of Cain and Abel, the twins. Okay. Now let's take a look at Carlos Linnaeus and how he named the pot plant in 1753. Now, Linnaeus was from the Netherlands. We talked about the royal fallen angel bloodlines. So it would make sense that the people who named the plant, and I know it existed long before this, but it would make sense that those who named it would be from this royal bloodline, and in fact, they are. The Netherlands, Sweden. Now, Linnaeus was the first person to classify plants, and we still use his classification system today. Species Planetarum. Okay? He is also awarded the Knight of the Order of the Polar Star. He was the first civilian in Sweden to become a knight in this order. Okay? So this was a big deal. He also had a heavy influence on many people, according to this Wikipedia article. He is the father of modern taxonomy and the father of modern ecology. He was one of the most acclaimed scientists in Europe. This person says that there is no greater man on earth. A German writer said, with the exception of Shakespeare, I know no one living that has influenced me more strongly. This man was revered. This is the Order of the Polar Star, he being the first civilian to receive this award. It has 8 points. 1753 is when he named the pot plant. Cann-abis. Cann-abis, Cain and Abel, Gemini. This is when he was born, a Gemini. And we have the 8-pointed star. Is this all starting to come together for you guys? The royalty from the fallen angel bloodline finally claiming their masterpiece of work. Many awards have been given in Linnaeus' name. Notably, the Linnean Society of London has awarded the Linnean Medal for Excellence in Botany or Zoology since 1888. Now, Linnaeus started out as a commoner, but was then admitted into nobility in 1757 by Swedish King Adolf Fredrik. So he was, in fact, part of the noble bloodline at that point. And finally, if pot is not addictive, then why are 18%, 17 to 18% admitted into rehab there for marijuana addiction? Mirroring almost the amount that are in rehab for alcohol addiction only. And these are statistics from 2008, and this says here revised 2011. The more recent statistics, according to a personal friend that works in this field, we are seeing marijuana admissions for substance abuse actually surpassing alcohol in many areas of the country. Marijuana is up there with heroin in terms of the percentage of admissions for substance abuse. And you can see some of the other statistics here as well. Now, these are the statistics in general. For teens, specifically up to 18, we actually have a much higher rate of marijuana admissions than alcohol. Now, here are some more teen trends. Now, I just didn't cherry pick these statistics. I simply typed in drug abuse statistics, or substance abuse statistics, and these were the very first websites that came up. This is general knowledge hiding in plain sight. Teen drug abuse trends. 71% said that marijuana was their first drug of choice, compared to 17% with alcohol. Okay? And this just goes on and on and on. So the message that our teens are seeing is that there is nothing wrong with pot because it's not addictive. But then they disproportionately fill the drug abuse, recovery, and addiction centers compared to alcohol. And I believe that our society is at fault for that because of how we've normalized pot use in this country. So you need to ask yourself, who is pushing the normalization of pot use in this country? And it is the powers that be. Marijuana, the most commonly used drug among 16 and 17-year-olds. The highest rate of past year dependence or drug abuse in 2008. Here's the bar graph. Okay? This is what we're dealing with here. This is what we're dealing with here. Marijuana. Addicted. Addiction. Treated. Over and over again. Now we can close our eyes and continue to normalize pot and legalize it for medical use, which we all know is a loophole. I can go down to any beach community. This is what's going on in California. And on the boardwalk, they have physicians, or maybe they don't, that will write you a prescription, no questions asked, for $50. And it is recognized as a legal card. You can make up anything you want about why you need pot, and they will write you a prescription, and you will have your card. That is what is happening. You have to ask yourself, why are they not enforcing this? Why are they allowing this to happen? Because they want you on pot. They want the Cain and Abel in you. They want you to feel closer to God as a substitute for a true spiritual relationship of spirituality with God. And they want you, when you don't have the pot, to turn into Cain. Get irritable, grumpy, not feel normal. They want you addicted to this. So I presented the information, you guys. Again, this isn't a judgment. This is all about love. This is all about love. Okay? As you've seen on this channel, we are all about love here. We don't need pot here. Or I don't need it anyways. Take care and be safe, you guys. Anyway, you guys, take care and be safe.